it's not there and then it's there. Like all of a sudden it's there and you're like, well, yeah. It just feels so normal when you manifest it because you've been like programming your brain for it. But then it's like when you look back, like, yeah, it wasn't there for so long. Now it's here. My manifestation is here. You always want to add or better when you're scripting because you want to let that probability of something better coming to you, you want that to be open, right? Leave that door open.
Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Again, we are having some audio issues, so I'm going to do this introduction to this video this way. Today we're going to talk about scripting and how to manifest anything with scripting. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell right next to it to get notified whenever I post a new video. Also, let me know since when you have been subscribed to me, because I have seen quite a few new people here and I want to know how long you have been subscribed to me, whether you're an OG or whether you're new here. Let me know in the comments down below and let's get right into the video. Luckily, we didn't miss anything major. I was just talking about the reticular activating system, which is a part in your brain that actually helps you manifest.
And this is why scripting and writing your goals down and your desires down to manifest them, it's like you're focusing on it, and because you've written it down, it activated a part in your brain. You're more focused on it, and there's parts in your brain that are going to search in the outer reality to. Your brain is always trying to work for you. Like even if you have, limiting beliefs, your brain is actually working. Your reticular activating system is working on showing you experiences in your outer reality that solidify that belief. So it's like, let's say a person is very mistrusting and believes that, all men or all women are liars and cheaters. They're going to attract these situations. Even if the person didn't cheat on them, they're going to come into situations where they don't trust the person, or they find the person doing something that it ends up being misinterpreted, but the way that they interpreted it was like, you know what I mean? And your brain's always trying to work for you. That's why we have to set it up to work for us in positive ways and not in negative ways. So actually, we're going to do a fun task right now to see how fast you can manifest. So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to take some deep breaths. I want you to take some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take at least 3 of these, relax, focus on the now moment, come into your center, and just forget about everything that's going on. And I want you to visualize a white rose. Visualize holding it in your hand, smell it, look at the petals, you can touch the petals, the texture of it, see the thorns on the rose, see the beautiful pattern of the rose. Feel how it feels between your fingers and your hands. Maybe touch the leaves. And just feel so much love and appreciation for this rose. Just love it. Give it love. Feel how happy you are to be able to hold such a beautiful rose in your hands. Smell it one last time and come back to center, and you can open your eyes. So the reason I have done this test with you right now is that because you've done this test, I want to show you how fast you can manifest. Chances are high that after you watch this video, you're going to see white roses everywhere. Call it the reticular activating system, call it the law of attraction. It's gonna happen for you. When it happens, I want you to come back to this video and comment that you've seen the rose so that other people can see that this actually works and how fast it can work as well. Also, when you do this right before falling asleep, it's going to be 100 times more powerful. Why did I use a rose? Because a white rose First of all, a red rose is a lot more easy to manifest because it's a lot more common, right? That's why we're using a white one. Why a rose? Because there's no resistance. If I would tell you like focus on $1 billion, you'd be like, I can't do this. Like I can't manifest this just like that, right? So let's just think about something that you have no resistance towards, that feels really fun and joyful to imagine. And again, I want you to come back to this video and comment when you've seen the rose. You may be seeing the white rose on your phone, like on Instagram. That counts as well. In real life, you may get a bouquet of flowers. Whatever it is, let me know, because it's just so exciting. Every time I do this exercise with people, they're blown away. I'm going to take a second to interrupt my own video here, and I want to talk about my Abundance Queen Academy. If you feel like you have these recurring patterns in your life, or if you feel stuck manifesting, or if you feel like there's like limiting beliefs, like you've been trying to manifest, but there's all these fears that come up, there are all these blocks that come up, and you feel like you need a little push, I highly invite you to join Abundance Queen Academy. It's a one-time payment. You get access a lifetime. Plus, I always add to the program over and over again. So as I expand in my capacity to teach, like the program is just a living library. My members in the program have seen so many amazing transformations. There's actually one person that messaged me telling me that she was in therapy for years and she hadn't had the breakthrough with years of therapy that she has had by just taking the course and just like working, like doing the exercises, even in the first module. She has had the biggest breakthroughs and released so many blocks, and people just see raises, new job opportunities, manifesting money out of nowhere, tax return money. Like it's just crazy, the things that my members message me, and I love it. So if you want to join, I'll put the link right here and down below. It is a program that I would have wanted to have when I just got started. I just want to help all of you manifest your biggest desires, because the only thing that is in the way of you manifesting your desires is some type of fear. You can call it a block, you can call it resisting thoughts, but behind it, like there's only two main emotions. One is love, the other is fear. All other emotions are just like a variation of that emotion, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna leave this here. You can join. I also have a free abundance guide if you want to just like dip your toes in. It's completely free. I'll put it down below, so be sure to check that out. I also have my manifesting accelerator. It's only 33 euros, so you got nothing to lose, everything to gain, and that's what we're all about here on this channel. Win-win. And again, I want to talk about non-attachment and being detached from the desire, because you're going to do this exercise and you're probably going to forget about it until you see the rose, and then it's like, whoa. Because non-attachment is so important. Sometimes we want something so bad that we end up putting so much resistance toward it. That's why non-attachment is so important. Being detached from the outcome, putting it out there, letting God, the universe, whatever you identify with, know what you want, like setting that intention and then just letting it go. A-type personalities like I am, we always want to be in control. We always want to have a sense of control of things, and that's not how manifesting works. If you want me to make a video on non-detachment, non-attachment, staying detached, let me know, because I feel like that's something we all sometimes struggle with. Let me know in the comments if you want me to create that video for you guys. I went off on a tangent here. Back to scripting. Stick to the end of this video to find out how you can actually script your desires, how to do it. But first, how did I actually achieve my desires with scripting? So a few years back, actually many years back, I heard about scripting and I decided to let my imagination run wild. I didn't come from money, like my parents never had money to support me. I always had to work. Everything that I have in my life, I have achieved and I have worked for myself. If you have been lucky enough to have parents that can support you or have a husband that supports you, that's amazing. In my case, like if you would have seen my first apartment, it was one room. Like the kitchen, the bedroom, the salon, like the living room, the eating table, my cat's litter box. It was all in one room, okay? Everything in my outer reality said that this was not possible. Like, I did not have the income, I was broke, I had no money, I was a student back then, and you know, manifesting wasn't really, no one talked about manifesting. Instagram didn't really exist. And so I just started to let my imagination run wild, and I wrote down like in so much detail. I don't know why I did this, and some details where I'm like, why did I even write this down? But so I wrote down that I was living in this beautiful house, my dream house, that had these huge ceilings. My ceilings actually go up more than 5 meters high, with these huge bay windows, marble floors, chandeliers, what's that called? I'm having a language barrier. A column? Is it called a column? I don't know. Even that I manifested. Sheepskin rugs. I wanted something modern. And I did not limit myself. I let my imagination run wild. And I don't know why I wrote this detail down, but I wrote down that I wanted a view of the mountains in the back and a view of the sea in the front, which is crazy because that's exactly what I'm having right now. And I didn't actively look for that. I wasn't searching for that, because if you live on the French Riviera, you know how expensive a sea view is, you know how expensive just houses are in general. It's crazy, renting or buying. I'm living in that exact place today. Actually, when I was first visualizing it, I was visualizing it more as like a penthouse. It's a house now. I prefer houses. God will always give you better than what you want. Actually, 2 years after I wrote that down, I was living in that exact house. So it doesn't have to take long. It really doesn't. And actually 1 year after I had written that down, here's the hiccup in the story. I had found this amazing apartment. It was so beautiful. It was like my dream apartment. And so I was thinking about getting that apartment. I ended up not getting it, which was fine. But here's the thing. I wrote down, when I saw that apartment, I wrote down, I'm living in this apartment or better. You always want to add or better when you're scripting, because you want to let that probability of something better coming to you, you want that to be open, right? You want that door, leave that door open, because sometimes we want something, but God has something so much better in store for us, right? So I wrote that down, and 1 year later, I get this house, and actually I find out that exact apartment is like 1 block away from this house. Like, we're like neighbors almost. I was so close to it, but I didn't see it at that time. So sometimes we're so close to a manifestation, and it can seem like, you know, I could have been discouraged, like, I didn't get this apartment, like I wanted it, why didn't it happen? These ravens are savage. Why didn't it happen? But in the end, if I look back, like, God had something so much bigger in store for me. And, you know, in the end, when I was writing that down, I didn't know how it would happen. I did not have the money to afford such a house at that time. I had no idea how it would happen, how it would come to pass, but it did. And that's all we have to stop trying to figure out the how. Raise your hand if you're always trying to figure out the how. But yeah, I wrote it down once. I wrote it down for 20 minutes. I let it go, and that was it. How do you actually script? You want to write it down on paper with a pen. Let your imagination run wild. Remember, the only limits that we have are the ones that we have in our mind. There are no limits. The only reason why you can't achieve something is because in your mind you believe that you cannot achieve it. If you believe that you can achieve it, you will. If you have that conviction inside of you that you will achieve it, then it's going to happen. And it doesn't even have to be this like 100% yes conviction. Like, if I'm going to tell you stand up right now and jump, you know that you can jump, right? You have that conviction that, like, yeah, I can stand up and I can jump. Unless you're sick or you have like a physical condition that doesn't allow you to jump, like, apart from these exceptions, you can stand up and you can jump, right? So that's a conviction. But it doesn't have to be like 100% conviction. The Bible says if you just have faith the size of a mustard seed, a mustard seed is the smallest seed that there exists. Just have a little faith. You know, you don't have to be 100% convinced, but just be open. That's so important. Be open and try not to have resisting thoughts around it. Just let it go. So you want to write it down, go into great detail. If you want to manifest $10,000, make it 100,000. Go big. Don't limit yourself. Make it 100,000 and then write down or more or better. Always write down or better. And you want to write it down as if you're writing it down in the present tense. After you've written everything down, you want to write down how you're feeling. I feel amazing. I feel so relieved that I can live this life. I'm so confident now. I'm so happy. I feel so loved. Just write down how you would feel. If you want to, you can set a date. You know, I have this and that by then. I don't like to set dates because timing really is up to God. We never know when or how it happens. But if you feel confident, go for it. If that doesn't, like, if it makes you feel limited, don't do it. If you feel confident, if you're the type of person that works well under like time pressure, then do it. Like, you can customize this. I do not work well under time pressure. I never add a date. It's so crazy when things manifest. Like, it's not there and then it's there. Like, all of a sudden it's there and you're like, well, yeah, I was manifesting this. This is normal. It just feels so normal when you manifest it because you've been like programming your brain for it. But then it's like when you look back, like, yeah, it wasn't there for so long. Now it's here. My manifestation is here. I hope this was helpful. If you want to go further, I highly recommend you join Abundance Queen Academy. I will leave it in the description down below. Also, I highly recommend you watch how I manifested my dream life next. If you haven't seen that video yet, I will put it right here. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to give this video a like, and I will talk to you soon.